Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sev Talks Money. Today, we are talking debt payoff, and I have a special guest who will be sharing her debt payoff story. Now, if you are interested in tools and tips to crush debt, build wealth, gain financial freedom, then this is the place to be. We party here at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time every Sunday afternoon. And why do we party? Because we're having fun while we learn. So October was supposed to be our channel's Women in Business series, but I have so many awesome women to feature that I extended it into November. And my special guest, Lisa Lanaola of Lanaola LLC, is one of those special guests. So let me share her information with you, and then I will bring her into the broadcast. Now, Lisa is CEO of Lanaola LLC, a company that offers life and fashion solutions. Her fashion line is Lanaola Styles. She also does credit repair, among other things, and we will talk about some of the services that she offers as we go along. So, Lisa, welcome to Sev Talks Money.
Ah! I am so happy to be here.
Okay, and we're happy to have you because I know people are going to be joining because they want to hear your debt payoff story. But
I
before we
just want to
even
say congratulations on your YouTube channel. Congratulations on your podcast. It's
ah
2020. It's a pandemic, and you are doing it. I'm so proud to be here, and I just want to say good work. You're doing the work, and it's good.
oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so before we even jump into the debt payoff story, I want to start by having you share a little bit about your business and the products and services that you offer.
Okay. So my business, the first product I offered was the head wraps. I fell in love with the head wraps. They're so colorful, vibrant. When I wear them, I wanted to jazz up outfits, and then people started loving them, so I started sharing them with others. So I started with the head wraps. I progressed on to the umbrellas, which are the most popular item on the website. So the umbrellas are available. They are the inside out umbrella. So if you're going into a car, train, bus, and you close it up, you don't get wet. And then I also have some accessories. I have the hair combs, the hairpins. I have those items. And then I also have, besides the shop on my website, I also have my consulting service where I help people plan for the life that they want. So a lot of people have goals and dreams, but they don't know how to achieve them. So I help them
Mm-hmm.
break them down into actionable steps that are doable and
Mm-hmm.
so that they can propel forward.
Yes, and I am going to be showing a slide of a few of the products that she has on her website, and I'm also going to be sharing her website in a little bit. And so we have some people joining us. I want to acknowledge them. We have
Sure.
Asian American Legal Focus, that is her YouTube name, Judy, joining us. We also have Beverly Harper, one of my faithful subscribers, always showing up on Sunday. She's a coworker from many, many years ago. Thank you for joining us, Beverly. And then we also have Greening Things that's joining us. I guess that's the YouTube name, Greening Things. Hi, Greeting Things. Thank you for
Jenna,
joining
that's
us.
Jenna.
Yeah, so all right, so you explained to us a little bit about some of the products and services that you offer, and you talked a little bit too about how you got started. What are some of the things that motivate you to keep going, especially in 2020 with all the craziness that's going on? What are some of the things that motivate you to keep going and expanding your business as much as you can? And somebody I'm sure will appreciate what you're going to share.
I started this entrepreneurial journey because I became an empty nester at 40. So it was quite a my daughter went off to college and I was 40 years old. Usually empty nesters are a little bit older, like in their 50s and 60s, but I was an empty nester at 40. So when I drove my daughter off to college, I came back home, I was crying a lot, sad, depressed, confused, didn't know what to do with my future life. So I started the side hustle, the the Lanaola LLC and everything.
Mm,
So what keeps me motivated is that I found my purpose. I
mhm,
love making people happy. And my head wraps, when I see them on someone, it makes me happy and it makes
mm,
them happy because it's vibrant colors and
mm.
it just brings a little sunshine to their day. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
yeah.
also the umbrellas are colorful as well. And just seeing people with my products and people using my services, it just makes me feel so good inside. So to know that I came on this journey because I wanted to find my purpose and I
Mhm.
did, and others are using the items that I created, it just motivates me each and every day.
Awesome. That is so awesome. And now, I know some of the people are here for the debt payoff story. So I want you to take us all the way back. You know, you mentioned that you were a empty nester in 40 after you drove with your daughter off to college. But let's start all the way in the beginning, where as a single person, you know, your approach to handling money, how you paid your bills, how you handled money, and you know, was credit even a part of your thought?
Okay, so my journey begins. Let me start off by saying I was born in Jamaica to single unwed parents. So
Mm-hmm.
um, that was the beginning of the journey. Didn't know, they had me. Then I migrated to East New York, Brooklyn, with
Mm-hmm.
my grandmother at 4 years old.
Yeah.
And being raised in East New York, Brooklyn by my grandmother it was it was humble beginnings because
Mm-hmm.
the East New York, Brooklyn in the 80s and 90s was like crack vials everywhere, people homelessness, just it was not a great environment. And my grandmother, born in 1923, didn't have, the education that
Mm-hmm.
she could pass on to me. So the only things I learned financially from my grandmother was when we used to go to the store, she would pull out a purse from her brassiere.
Yeah.
it was wrapped in it was wrapped in tissue paper, not even paper towels, to tissue paper, and she would take it out, and that's how she would pay for the
Mm.
items that she bought. So
Yeah.
we never talked about savings account, checking account, HSA, 401k, none of that, Seb. It
Mm-hmm.
was just the purse coming out and probably money under the mattress. I don't remember that, but I could probably imagine that happened.
Yeah.
So that was the essence of my financial journey in my teenage years. And we had humble beginnings, like I said. So we went to the pantry, collected food. She collected cans, we went and turned them in. And those are what my money experiences looked like in my 20s. So when
Yeah.
I had my daughter at 21, you know I had to use the resources that I knew, because in my teens, my grandmother couldn't help me. So I had to apply to the high school that I want. I had to do the research, make the plans for my own high school, my own college, everything that I wanted to do. I had to make the plans for them. So
Mm-hmm.
when I had my daughter, I had to start using my tools, the research that I knew how to do and all that. But before I started doing the research, I got a job after I had my daughter, and I needed a car. So I went to the dealership and got a car. Didn't know about credit score, credit repair, credit anything, nothing. So the salesman said, "How much can you afford per month for a car?"
Ah,
So
yeah.
I said, probably like $200, because I was 20, 22. $200. So I left the dealership in what year was that? I guess it was 2000, and a brand new Dodge Neon paying $240 a month. Didn't know what my APR was, didn't know what my credit report was, didn't know what anything, my credit score was or anything. Later come to find out that I was paying, are you ready for this? I was paying 18% for my first car loan. That was
Yes.
devastating. I've learned since then, but that was how much I was paying in the beginning. When you don't know, you don't know. And
Yeah.
that's just what happened. So I left that and I got the car and I went to work.
Yeah.
My boss
Before
at
you
the
continue, let me just interject for somebody who may be listening or somebody who's going
Sure.
to be um, listening to the replay. The lesson here is you never go to the dealer and tell them what you can pay, because then you're not thinking of the total value of what you're paying. You
No.
always want to start with how much you want to spend in terms of the total amount of the car. So if you want to spend maybe 20,000, you want to spend 20,000 in total, you work backwards. So if you
Yes.
tell them you want to pay $300, they're going to make you pay 300, but you may
Yep.
end up
Yep.
paying for that car for 8 years or 7 years.
Yep.
So
And that's
anyway,
what we did. And
continue.
that's what we did when we got a car in 2017. I got a loan from my credit union already. I went to the dealership. They didn't know I had the money. So I went in asking them how much was the car, the lowest price that they could go for the car I wanted. And the salesman kept asking me how much I wanted to pay. And I kept telling him he wanted to just finance me. But I
Yeah,
already had my 3.5%
that's the
financing
way
from
to
my
do it.
credit union. So
Yeah.
I did not need that financing. So it was a growth moment for me for that.
Wow, I'm
So
telling you.
so I
We
got
have some new folks joining us.
okay.
Stephanie's journey. She also has a YouTube. She was saying that was the same with my grandmother. I can so relate. And we
Exactly.
have Dr. Natasha Simon Christie joining us, and I guess her OMG is in relationship to the 18%. And Beverly saying, "Wow, that's for the 18%." Because again, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about personal finance and educating people, because when you don't know, you don't know. And they take advantage of people who don't know. And especially people who look like us, unfortunately.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So for the
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
continue with your story. Then you got married, and
So
how
no,
did that
so
all that work?
before I got married, to learn about credit, I had a boss for my first job, and he had a brother. He was like the most financial person that I knew, for
Mhm.
financially responsible. So he knew about finances. So I asked him to help me learn about credit. So he took the time out, and I'm always eternally grateful to him for doing that, because he didn't have to. He had me print out my report. We went through it, fixed everything that needed to be fixed. I applied for my first credit card. They gave me a $250 limit. I was so happy. And he told me, don't use it. Just buy gas, pay it off
Mhm.
every month, and that
Yes.
was that. So that's what I learned to do. I did not have any debt in my 20s. Once I checked my credit score and it was 425. Once we went on that repair journey, it took me about 2 years, and my credit score went up to a 715, 720 in 2 years,
Mhm.
because I steadily worked on it. And
Mhm.
so, as a single mother in my 20s, I just want to say I could have acquired debt. I could have
Mhm.
done a lot of things and,
Mhm.
been gone down a lot of roads, but I was so scared of debt, did not want to do it. So I made sure to create a budget for myself, and I stuck with that budget. I paid for everything in cash in my 20s, and I did not have any debt in my 20s. So I'm proud to
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah. Okay. So before we continue on to the rest of it, I want to invite those who are listening right now. If you have not subscribed to the channel, you will see a red button. And if you're liking what you're hearing, we share things like this either with a guest or with me speaking by myself. We share things around personal finance. We share things about crushing debt, building wealth, building your business, anything related to that. We have guests come on, lawyers, um, um, other people come on sharing their entrepreneurial journey. So if you have not subscribed to the channel and you see a red button, please hit that red subscribe button. Also share. If there's somebody who you know that this will benefit, share. Like, you can also like the video right now. And then after the live stream is over, you can come back and comment on the video. Okay, so let's continue, Lisa, with your story. So you paid cash for pretty much everything.
Everything in my 20s. Once
Mhm.
once he told me what I had to do to get good credit, I did it. And that's the thing about me. Once somebody teaches me something that I want to learn, I just continue doing that.
Mhm.
So I got married at 35.
Mhm.
And I was never used to a double income household, Sev. So this is where all the madness started. So my husband and I, we moved in together, and we were living together, married and everything. So now we have two incomes coming in.
Mhm.
I went crazy. Well, we both went crazy. We started shopping, and when you have an apartment, you got to go get furniture.
Mhm.
And then I got another card because the one credit card I had, I kept that for 10 years,
Mhm.
10, 15
Mhm.
years. Then when we got married, I got another card, and then another card, and then another card. Because when your credit is good, they've been sending you information to get more credit, but I
Yes.
never accepted it.
Yeah.
So I applied for, I said, okay, so now it became like a competition. What can I get? I got a Discover, then I got an Amex, then I got this and that. It was like, wow, I could get all this. So I got so excited, got shopping, and just went travel, did everything, went wild. After 2 years, the bills start coming in, and then you realize, wow, what did we just do? We have to pay now all of these bills down.
Yeah.
So I reined in the spending. I went back to my single mom mindset where I was paying for everything in cash and sticking to
Mhm.
budget. I already taught myself all that, so it was easy to go back into that mode. And
Yeah.
now I'm showing my husband what to do. So I wrote down all the debt on a spreadsheet from smallest to largest.
Mhm.
Then we started paying them down from the smallest debt to the largest. I think they
Yeah.
call that
That's
the
a snowball
the
method.
snowball method. So
Yeah.
we started using the snowball method because once you start, like, say you have a debt that's 1,000 and you have a debt for 5,000. I felt that if I started paying the $5,000 debt back first, it would seem like tedious, and it would seem like
Mhm.
it would take such a long time. So my
Yeah.
husband and I discussed it, and we both agreed start with the smallest debt. And once you pay that off, you feel empowered. You're like, wow, I'm really doing something. So that's
Yeah.
what we did. We started with the smallest, and then we went to the largest. And
Mhm.
then cut the cards up, threw them away, whatever I had to do, and just started paying the debt down, paying for things in cash, and doing what I did in my 20s.
Yeah. And for those of you who are listening right now and those who are going to be listening to the replay, I talked about the avalanche versus the snowball method last week. So, and I will link that video to this one at the end of this broadcast. Yes, as Lisa said, the snowball is when you start with the smallest amount. Doesn't matter the interest. You don't even look at the interest. You start with the smallest amount, and you pay that, and you go to the next one. And I love that because it gives you this great feeling to know, hey, I've checked one thing off my list. Let's move to the next and the next. Whereas the avalanche is you're ordering based on the interest rate, and
Okay.
you're paying the bill or the debt with the highest interest rate because the pro of the avalanche is that you're saving on interest overall. The pro of the snowball is the feeling you get from the completion. You've completed one thing, you can move to the next one. So the avalanche, you order it by the highest interest rate, and you're paying the loan, doesn't matter the amount, the loan with the high or the debt with the highest interest rate first, so you can get rid of it and save more on interest. So again, I'll link that video to this one when we're done. So you ordered your debt, and you plowed smallest loan all the way to the biggest one. And then what kind of well, I guess it wasn't a surprise so much as you expected that your credit score would jump, and and then you saw that. Were you monitoring your credit score as you went along, as you paid the debt, or at the end, is that when you looked at your credit score?
I'm always checking my credit score.
No, no, I'm with you.
Once
Listen.
I learned that in my 20s, listen, I've never, once I started repaying my credit and I was 25, my score has never been below a 715, 720.
Mm-hmm.
So when I married my husband, it was about, I wasn't really doing anything different, and I didn't really have any debt or pay off any debt, didn't have anything to do. So my score stayed for about 10, 15 years at about a 720, 730.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until even when we got the debt, my score did not drop below a 700, because
Mm-hmm.
we always paid our bills. You know, we always paid our bills on time. That's one thing I've never in my 20s, 30s, 40s paid a bill late, ever, ever.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And paying on time is the biggest part of your credit score. It's 35% of the calculation for your credit score. So that was a great thing you did, paying on time.
always. And what I when we were paying off the debt, and after we did all that, my score jumped to an 801. I'm rooting. I'm trying to get to an 850. I know there's not a lot of people out there that have it, but that's a goal of mine, a personal goal. Just I don't have to, because a 750 is the same as an 800 and an 850.
Yes, it
But
is.
personally, inside, I want to achieve an 850. So that's what I'm working towards now.
Yeah, we have a comment here from Dr. Natasha. Natasha, she said the feeling of clearing one credit card gives you such momentum to attack the rest of them with vigor. And that's the reason I like the snowball method, because it just, you get that small one out of the way, and it just like, if I did that, I can do the next one and the next
Yes,
one and the next one. It
yes,
really pumps you up. And we have
yes.
a new visitor here, Real Friends Unlimited podcast. She's saying hi, lady, or I'm assuming it's a she. I'm saying hi, ladies. Yes.
And I
Yes, yes, Stephanie. They see us coming and they get dollars in their eyes, because we tend to not be, our population, our African Americans tend to be not as educated about personal finance. And again, that's why I am so adamant about doing everything I can to educate us, because if you are educated, they will not be able to put things over on you. They will not be able to, you can go into that car dealership and not be intimidated and not be moved by anything they say in that car dealership, or buying a house or whatever, because you know the facts. You know
yeah,
how things work.
yeah,
And once you know, and you don't even have to have the real deep technical knowledge. You just need to know the basics. And once you know that, you can go in there with confidence, and you will know how to negotiate. Because again, as you said, you were sharing your story. The guy kept saying, how much do you want to pay? How much do you want to pay? And that's not what the driving factor should be when you
annoying.
determine and you take out when you determine how much you want to borrow.
Yep.
Yeah, somebody's saying here they're doing the same. They're using Snowball. Yes. When I first paid my first student loan, it felt so good. But I'm a list girl. I'm a list girl. I love to make lists and check things off. And so just really, I was just so excited.
Yep.
Yes. And Dr. Natasha said yes. Um, oh, Beverly's saying I pay off my balance each month, no interest paid. Yes, girl. That's what I do with my credit card. No, not low balance. And Dr. Natasha is saying African American and woman, yes, they will try to empty your pocket. Yes. So it's always good to know the basics. And again, that's why we're here. So share, please. Let somebody know that we're here and that we're sharing this type of information.
And I agree. And that's why I like to share my journey, because
Mhm.
it can save someone else. It can save
Yes.
someone else. So I believe in also sharing the journey. Thank you once again for having me.
Oh, no problem. So I want you to share with us. I know you've shared the journey and what you did to pay down the debt. And again, let me reiterate to my audience, those who are watching now and those who are going to be watching the replay. Personal finance is just that, personal. That means whatever method I use, and whatever my approach is to debt or anything else, it may not work for you. It's going to be based on your goals. What is it that you're trying to achieve?
Yep.
What motivates you? Because maybe checking off your lowest loan amount is not what motivates you. So, with that, I want to ask you, Lisa, based on your experience and your journey with paying off debt, what advice would you give somebody who's currently in debt and looking to pay it down?
Okay, so I have 4 tips. I'm gonna keep them short, but I have 4 tips that
Mm-hmm.
I use and I share with others. The first one is do not keep up with the Joneses.
Okay.
Okay, the Joneses live over there. I live
And they
here
are
in
broke.
my house. The Joneses don't. I don't know what the Joneses are doing. The Joneses don't know what I'm doing. So what I've done since I've been a single mother is I buy what I need. And we went back to that. I got my husband to go back to that. We buy what we need. So
Mm-hmm.
when we got married and I was on the shopping spree, that was like 2015, 2016, I bought a coat for dress for dress for church for function for for
Mm-hmm.
fancy functions, and that's the coat that I have now, and that's the coat that I'm going to keep until I um no longer have, unless something's wrong with it, then
Mm-hmm.
I'll get another one. But
Yeah.
buy what you need. Do not worry about what the Joneses bought. Worry
Mm-hmm.
about what you need and buy what you need. So that's
I
the
so
first tip.
agree with you. Yes.
Because people try to keep up and they see these people buying all these shiny things, and I'm just like, I can't afford that shiny thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one I have is don't be ashamed to downgrade. So
Yes.
my husband and I were renting an apartment in a house. The landlord sold the house in 2016, 2017. We were paying about 1,600 for a 2-bedroom apartment. That's how much it is in New York. So we could have rented another apartment, but then we had goals. We wanted to buy
Mm-hmm.
a house. We wanted to do everything. So we said, let's rent the basement, a basement apartment somewhere from a family member. So that's what we did for a
Mm-hmm.
year. And then we moved in with my mom in the Bronx. So I was taking the train from the Bronx to my job in Queens, 2 hours every day.
Wow.
Leaving work at 1 a.m., my husband would pick me up and we would drive and we would go home in the Bronx. So we sacrificed and downgraded because is what we needed to do to level up.
You
And
had goals. You had goals, and you were focused on your goals, and that's it. Don't be concerned about what other people think, because people are going to say things. They're going to be, "You're in a good job. Why are you doing that? You should buy a house. You should buy a car. You should buy whatever." Yes.
yeah, we don't. We both, and the thing that I love about my husband is we discuss everything. We make a plan for the family and we stick to that plan. And if it's not working, we see that it's not working, then we'll reroute it, but we'll always
Mm-hmm.
have a plan for the family. And
Yes.
that's how we propel forward. So I always tell people create a plan because you can't just do everything willy-nilly and think it's going to work out. You
Yes.
have dreams, you have goals, create a plan. And
Yes.
the third thing I have is stay on budget.
Yeah.
Stay on budget. Create a budget. Um, Look at your credit. Know what it is. Don't run away from it. Even if it's bad, you have to improve it. So look at it. Have a
Yes.
savings account. Have a checking account, but stay on budget. And one of my things in life is I live every day like it's my last day on earth. So I like to have fun,
Mm-hmm.
but I make sure that my fun is within budget. You
Yes.
know, I
Yes.
don't stray from the budget. And the last thing I have is to be grateful because
Yes.
my parents were born in Jamaica, teenage parents. They didn't have to have me, Sev.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Mm-hmm.
had options, but they had me. My grandmother didn't have to take me to New York, but she did. I didn't have to live where I lived, and I did. I didn't have to have my daughter and do what I did, but I did.
Mm.
I'm grateful that God provides for me each step of the way.
Yes.
Whatever wrong turn I take, I fix it, I make a plan, I correct it, and I stay grateful because there's always something to be grateful for. Bad things are
Yes.
happening, but there's also good things that are happening, and we need to Be grateful for the smallest and the largest.
Yes, I totally agree because there's always something to be grateful for. And that's one of the things we talk about on this channel too is mindset is really mindset because you can make all the budgets in the world, you can do all the plans, but if your mindset doesn't change, you go right back to what you were. And great examples, people who win the lotto, they got all that money. If I had $1,000, I would do this. If I had 10,000, I would do this. And then you'll get all that money, and you squander it because your mindset didn't change. And so once your mindset changes, you can handle a dollar or $10,000, and you will handle it the same way because it's all about how you think about money. Now, what is 2020 has been great, has been crazy. we can all agree 2020 has been crazy. For me, 2020 has been a blessing, and unfortunately for a lot of people, it hasn't been. But what would you say is one of the greatest lessons that you've learned this year that you think would benefit someone listening right now?
The greatest lesson that I've learned in 2020 is to invest in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And what I still have I probably need therapy for it. But I still have the single mom mindset where I didn't have a lot. So it's like I don't like to spend a lot and I'm scared to spend. But my husband is teaching me and we're working together because he's the opposite. He
Mm-hmm.
feels like you need to give a little to get a little.
Yes,
And I
yes.
took a course this year. I found a business mentor consultant and I invested in that and it's helped me grow so much. So it's like I'm like, okay, what's free? Let me learn the freeway. And
Mm-hmm.
even if it takes me a little bit longer, I'm like, let's do the freeway. But my husband is like, if you can level up a little bit faster and it's not breaking your bank and you can budget for it, budget for it. So
Yeah,
I urge everyone to invest in yourself. The internet is
yes.
here.
Mm-hmm.
We've come a long way. I used to have to research what high school I was going to, buy books and all that. Now we have the internet. So I urge people in their 20s and 30s, if you're lost and if you're confused and you don't know which way to go, invest in a course or invest in someone who's going to teach you what you want to know to
Awesome.
get you going on the level that you need to go at. So I'm so happy that I have my husband. He really helps me a lot because as a single mother mindset, it would slow me down a little bit. But sometimes we do have to take chances and we
Mm.
do have to invest it in ourselves. So I'm grateful that I did that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Dr. Natasha is saying, I believe in God and therapy. I agree.
I probably need it. I
I
probably need
certainly agree. Yeah, and Real Friends Unlimited podcast is saying powerful gratitude. Oh,
Hi, Khadijah. That's Khadijah.
yes, I didn't realize who that was. Hey,
That's
lady.
Khadijah.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, and folks, if you a lot of the ladies that are here, they have YouTube channels, so please go follow them on YouTube. Khadija also has a podcast. Go follow her, please. Check them out, and let's support each other, right? Okay, so as I said, we learn, but we also have fun. So I have a question. I guess you could say it's a fun question of the day,
Okay.
but it's also a question that ties back to what we're doing, right? Because we all need mentors. So with that said, if you could spend 1 hour talking to a person, dead or alive, real or fictional, over coffee, who would it be and why?
Ooh, okay. um, Dead or alive over coffee. So I one thing I'm passionate about is building a better life for myself. So I would speak to somebody. I love real estate. I bought my first house this year, 2020, and I would love to learn from someone who has taken that real estate journey and knows how to leverage the equity from the home to get another one and such and so forth. So I think I would love to like sit with someone who really knows about real estate and leverage that knowledge. So that would
I,
probably be
I have
somebody.
someone I am going to introduce you to. I don't have her
Okay.
information now. And she has a I think her thing is called Key something. I don't remember, but she does seminars on house hacking and things like that.
Oh,
And then
okay.
also we have Stephanie's Journey. She is a real estate agent. So if you're looking for a house in Georgia, go ahead and contact her. and
Okay.
and we also have another friend joining us, Debbie. She has a YouTube channel. Check her out. She talks about things, gifts and things in the kitchen. She shares, like the kind of best storage containers, the how to store food, how to freeze, what's good to freeze, what's good, basically just good common sense tips about the kitchen and the things that you use in your house and your kitchen. And I hope I summed up that correctly, Debbie. But yes, go follow Debbie on YouTube also. So ladies, we have several people here again who are I'm going to leave the chat up when the broadcast replays. You can go back and find those ladies and support them in whichever way you can. And with that said, I want to show Lisa's uh, information and samples of some of the products and services that she offers. So her
Just want to
website
say, I
is
want to say thank you so, so much. Thank you so, so much again for having me. And they can find me at
Lisa,
lisalanaola.com.
right, LisaLanaholder.com. And I wanted to go back to that slide. Let me go back to the slide because I want you to see how the umbrella works. You're demonstrating it there. The rain is falling, and when you close the umbrella, that black part where the rain is, it goes inside so you don't get wet and the water doesn't go anywhere. So check out her website. And then she's wearing the fascinator, and
Yes. Oh, I forgot to
yeah,
mention that.
fascinator and lots of wraps. I have one of them. I thought about wearing it and I completely forgot. And head combs, hair combs also. So check out her website for her products and services that she offers. And
I
again,
just
thank
want to add, can I just
everyone.
add one thing? Black Friday is coming, so they can subscribe to my newsletter to get the Black Friday coupon, and also I'll be sharing it on the website. So the items are good for Secret Santa gifts. There's a lot of Secret Santas coming up, or stocking stuffers, or just a good gift to give a friend. All
Yeah.
my items are great to give our friends or family members.
Yes, yes, I certainly agree. So, greeting things is saying would her umbrellas are the best, and she says, greeting things. I'm assuming. Why do I keep always saying she? I'm assuming it's a she.
Jenna, it's Jenna, yes.
And it said it looks so cute on you. Yes, and Stephanie's saying nice items. I will be sure to check it out. Yes, let's support each other. We're all small businesses, and we're
Yes.
all trying to do the best we can. So please support each other. And to that, I want to say in the description of this video, there are links for calculators that will you can go in and you can put in your debt that will help you to compare the avalanche and the snowball method. So if you are really interested in paying down your debt, go ahead and check the link in the video and you will see the different calculators. You can put your numbers in, you can compare, and then see, which one will help you get to where you want to go based on your goal. So again, thank you, Lisa, so much for joining us today. And thanks to all the other visitors who joined us. And let me go right back up to the top. Beverly Harper, greeting things with Jenna. Stephanie's Journey. Check out her website. I mean her YouTube channel. Dr. Natasha Simon Christie. She also has a YouTube. Check her out. Real Friends Unlimited podcast. Kadisha. Check out her website. Her podcast. And I'm assuming she has a YouTube also. And let's see, did I miss anybody? Also, go check out Debbie Esplin, Esplin. Check out her YouTube and follow her. And then we're all pretty much ladies trying to make it happen. Okay, so Real Friends Unlimited, she's saying this was wonderful, ladies. You are awesome. Thank you so much. So are you. So are you. You're awesome for showing up and helping us. And Stephanie saying thank you, Lisa and Seb. We certainly appreciate you because we could be here talking to the air, but you're here, and that means so much to us that you show up to support us. And Debbie is saying, yes, perfect description. That was in reference to her web or YouTube. Good information this week from both of you. So thank you so much. And let's continue to support each other and as we grow our small businesses. And I will see you here next Sunday. I may have a visitor, not sure yet, but whatever it is, you can be sure that it's going to be something educational and fun. Have an awesome week. And I will see you here next Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Please don't forget to like the video and share and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And we will see you next Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern